Hi, and welcome back to Pioneers TV, right here at Sector 5. As you can see, I'm not Henrietta. She's actually traveling the world right now, meeting the most awesome startups you can imagine. My name is Daniel, and I'll be hosting the next couple of shows, and I'll also be hosting the Pioneers Festival in October. So, hi, nice to meet you guys. And I've got one guest here sitting here. There's Thomas, the CEO of Voxio. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me, what do you guys do?
Yeah, so Vox.io, it's about real-time communication. We started this company because we want to make communication better. And we tackled the problem by sort of innovating in the three verticals of each communication flow. So how you start a conversation, how you can communicate better while you are in that conversation, and how you can build a perfect memory of all your conversations. By bringing the communication in the browser, so there are no downloads, nothing to install, we are able to start conversations by just sharing a link or just by pointing you to a URL. We are enhancing conversations by not only allowing you to communicate through text, voice, and video, but also with existing web content. So I can tell you much more by showing you a picture of a sunset of Bali than keep talking about it forever. But we don't want to take you from the conversation to take a look at the picture. We want to bring the picture in the conversation.
That sounds actually brilliant, but can we have a look at it right now?
Sure, let's take a look at it.
Can we have a live demo?
Yeah, sure.
Great.
Let's go ahead.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just going to open up my laptop and just point it to Vox.io. That's all I have to do, right?
Do I need anything?
Actually, you don't need anything. I'll just open up the browser. Give me a second.
Sure.
It's loading it up, and I'm just going to type in your number and hit enter. And that's all I'm going to have to do to make a call to you. So, yeah, let's see. It's ringing. Let's wait. So now it's going all over the world.
Nice.
And you saw my number on the screen.
I did, yes.
This is a tiny little detail, but it shows a little bit how we think about communication. So you probably wouldn't have answered that call if there was some strange, number popping up, but it popped up with my number, and you saw immediately that Thomas was calling.
So tell me, what would the classical use case be for it? I mean, we all know Skype, of course, but what's the difference between you guys and Skype?
Yeah. So when we started this, we sort of started with voice calls from the browser to regular phones. But that was never the direction where we actually wanted to go. So our idea was, like I said, innovate in the three verticals. And we started with this first one, building the first use case, and we innovated on top of that. So the first really cool use case that we built was, I can just create a link, send it to you, and since this works in the browser with no download and anything, you can just call me back without having to set up anything at all. You just press a big button, and either my phone or my browser is going to ring on the other side, and we can start talking.
So basically you guys are made for internet cafes?
Yeah, we are actually made for all the people that want to have a really smooth communication flow online, but don't want to have something running in the background all the time. A lot of people just schedule calls at specific point in times. So why would I have to start or install something, start that specific application, wait for the other person to come online to just start talking? Shouldn't I just point you to a URL, like I would point you to a YouTube video, and you can get in touch with me through that link?
Does it cost me anything?
It costs you if you dial sort of the traditional networks. We are bringing the cost down as much as we can. Our idea is actually to have those calls for free as well in the future. We are working towards that.
So if it's browser-based, essentially I could log onto a computer,
from
do
anywhere.
whatever I do, and then leave no traces?
Exactly.
Okay, have you got any special hotspots you've identified up to now?
So, I mean, geographically?
Yeah.
So, interesting enough, we've been growing pretty fast in North Africa. We've been very, very proud inside the company that people in Morocco especially took the time to shoot video tutorials on how to sign up and how to use the product. And one video especially has 65,000 views on YouTube. And this is one of the highlights of the company so far, or let's say what the team really appreciates. It's not about having the hype or being in TechCrunch and so on. It's having loyal users who are going to go through the pain of shooting a video and promoting it then on YouTube.
How would you explain your product to a 5-year-old?
Go to vox.io/grandmother and click this button, and you're going to talk to a big smiling face of your grandmother on the other side. That sounds
good. And what's the history behind your company?
Okay. Yeah. So the core team of the company has a history in telco, as you might tell. So we've been working for a big IT company in Slovenia. We've been delivering projects for big telco operator and mobile operators. So that's how we learned about the industry. We've been in mobile since 2006, 2007. Before the iPhone, we've been building video IVRs, voice IVRs, and all these kind of crazy things if you think about it today. We've also done a lot of web projects, especially with real-time video and streaming. And so we combined all these three sort of industries into a specific product that we are building now. But the background of the founders is very, very varied.
So basically, you guys sat down at a table and went like, "Hey, let's found a global network." Or how did that go?
It wasn't really like that. There was no really eureka moment, or that we said that we're going to build this and so on. I think ideas evolve through time. You start with exploring what's possible and what's not. Then if you know something specific about the industry, you figure out how to put all these pieces together, and then it starts evolving into something different and so on. But the main, like I said before, the main driver was there is something missing in the world that we see 3-4 years from now, and someone's going to build it. We are sure of that. And we want to be the ones who sort of built this type of product for the world of tomorrow, if you want.
I would presume it's probably quite difficult to do it on your own. Did you participate in some kind of incubators or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we did Seed Camp in January 2011. We were one of the 3 selected companies they invested in. We were also selected as one of the top 3 companies after Seed Camp Week, which is a slightly longer event in September, and we launched right after that. Right after Seed Camp in September, we spent 3 months in San Francisco, the whole team. We wanted to be sort of part of that ecosystem. We want to meet people. We want to sort of get into really good relationships with potential partners for the future or bright hires that we might want to bring on board. And it has been a really great journey for us.
Nice. And I have to interrupt you at this point because right now we're going to have a look at some applicants actually from San Francisco for our Startup Challenge.
So you guys are here in San Francisco and you're YC backed, but do you mind telling us why you're coming to Pioneers, or you're still applied as a startup?
Well, I think Europe is still a cool place, even though right now we're not sure where we're going to be in the next few years, but at least right now we're in San Francisco, but it's also cool to see what happens in Europe. And I think Pioneers First is the best place.
Yeah, and it's also cool to try to connect these 2 continents. So we're always as Europeans trying to do our best.
Okay.
Nice. So, what's the Startup Challenge all about? Essentially, it's about qualifying to be one of the 50th hottest startups to battle it out in October in Vienna during the Pioneers Festival. Why? Because you'll win 25,000 euros right there, bang on your hand. So tell me, have you participated in any kind of events in that direction?
So yeah, I mean, we didn't do exactly challenges or something like that, but yeah, we are regular visitors at startup events. I think it's a great opportunity to meet the rest of the ecosystem, both fellow founders and investors and the press and so on. And I think what happened in Vienna last year with the Startup Week and this year with Pioneers is just great for the region. And I hope a lot of people will attend.
It's one hell of an innovation, isn't it?
Yeah.
And speaking of such, what's the most important innovation for you in your life?
Oh, the one that I've seen recently and that got me really thinking, and it's really inspiring, is most certainly the Google Glass project. I think it will change the way we perceive, life itself and how we store life itself in the long run.
Thank you. Now, Henrietta has traveled to San Francisco and has asked this very same question to a bunch of people from startups. Let's have a look at it.
Hey everyone! It's a nice and sunny day in the Golden State of California, and behind me you can see the Golden Gate Bridge. It looks really nice today. There's no fog, it's a beautiful day, and we met up with some really, really cool people. So take a look and have fun. Bye. Eric, what's been the one invention that's made your life a bit easier?
I mean, there's so many to choose from. I obviously have to give the main credit to the whole personal computer revolution, the semiconductor revolution, which, is all one invention, really. It's just been iterated to my laptop, my phone, to my digital piano. It lets me practice, with my headphones on, so I'm not keeping the neighbors up. My life is much better because of that. So.
We caught up with Christian Segerstrål just before he's gonna play with his rock band. I hope we can hear something. So Christian, what's the one thing that's influenced you most? Like as a sort of, I don't know, invention that's made your life easier?
Google Apps by a million miles. Before Google Apps there were email servers and all sorts of bad things that you had to install. With Google Apps you get everything online. So it's obvious for startups now. For startups 4 or 5 years ago it was not obvious. Okay. So that was an amazing piece of tech that changed our lives.
Okay, thanks a lot and have a good gig.
Besides innovation, I personally consider it essential to have good mentorship. Who would you consider one of your most important mentors?
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, I have tons of mentors, I have to say, and so as I mentioned, Seed Camp as well. So gave us a great opportunity of being mentored by probably the 50 or 100 best people you could find around Europe, and it gave a huge boost to our company. I personally have several mentors from different fields, both personal and business type of life, but I agree with you. I mean, it's one of the most necessary things that you need to have if you want to grow as a person and if you want to grow as a company.
Now, we know it's not always easy to find good mentors, and for that we created a very special track within Pioneers Festival. We've called it the Academy. Now, the idea behind the Academy is that we'll give you great speakers that are going to share their school of hard knocks with you, for you not to make the mistakes they might have made. So let's have a look at some of those great speakers we've got coming up. Peter Westerbecker, Mighty Eagle and CMO at Rovi Entertainment, the guy behind the marketing and brand strategy of Angry Birds. Sean Ellis, CEO and founder of Catchfree, who amongst others held marketing leadership roles at Dropbox and Lookout. Björn Lasse Hermann, founder of Startup Genome and the educational program Blackbox VC. Now that was a bunch of awesome speakers. Anyone you were really excited about?
Yeah, I'm really excited about Peter from Rovio. I mean, I know him from the Mobile Monday times and from Nokia, and I think they did a great job in the last 2 years, and I'm really looking forward to what they have to say. You know, now that they launched a second game and they're making really a huge splash.
Now let's see if that one turns out to be a winner like Angry Birds. Speaking of winners, let's have a look who won the 2 tickets for Pioneers Festival last month. And the winner is Konstantin Gavrilette. Congrats, mate. See you at Pioneers. Now, if you missed the chance to win the 2 tickets last month, you have a chance to win 2 more tickets this very month. All you need to do is tweet the link to our show together with the hashtag PF12TV and win 2 tickets if you're lucky. Now, I have one last question for you. Have you ever mentored a startup yourself?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to be very active in the local community in Slovenia, and I mentor a couple of other companies, and there is a special one called Flavier that does some crazy things, right? They will send you each month a pack of 5 spirits, of tasting bottles of spirits, really high quality stuff and so on. And the founder really started from nothing. I mean, he knew nothing about e-commerce, he knew nothing about the web, he knew nothing about alcohol, and now he's doing this great company, and I'm really glad that I can sort of share some of my mistakes or some of the lessons that I learned with him to make this company flow easier and better than it would otherwise.
Nice. Listen, it's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for coming and taking the time. And thank you so much for staying tuned. Make sure to tune in next time and take care. Bye.